So this is one of my favorite topics. I'm going to show you how to start your company with little to no money and the number one fastest way to monetize. So what you're going to learn in this video is number one, how to start today. Not think about it, not put it off, like how do you start today? What is the absolute mistakes that new business owners do, and they do them over and over and over, that you have to change? And how do you get to really fast cash, I call it. Like fast cash is today cash. If you needed money today, like go, 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 you need my tips. I'm gonna show you how to do it. All right, so how do you get started? Well, first of all, you have this thing right here. It's called your brain. Right? And I have 5 New York Times bestsellers. I've wrote in collaboration over 50 something books I don't even know. Have another one coming out, How to Make Your Kids Millionaires. My point is here's a book. It's your brain on paper. Do not overthink it. You all have an expertise and you can say, well, I'm only 18, I'm only 19, I'm too old. No excuses. You all have something that you could do. And even you stay-home moms that are out there watching, I got to pick on you because you say, I'm just a stay-home mom. Are you kidding? You're raising genius kids, or you better be. So what do you have? Like, what is it that you're really good at? Are you good at nutrition? Are you good at recipes? I have a client that actually can make any gluten-free, take any like allergic reaction stuff out of it and fix your recipes. I have people who clean houses. I have people who, you name it. Like, how do you start a company with hardly any money? So a lot of things are service-based. What you're noticing that I'm not talking about inventions or businesses that cause or take a lot of inventory, because you're going to need more capital. So I'll just talk about how I started. I started because I was playing the cash flow game. I was the master distributor for Robert Kiyosaki in the cash flow game. So out of the cash flow game, what's the number one response? How do I do it? So I had knowledge, and so I started charging people like hundreds of dollars an hour to share with them the first steps of how to. So what do you know? I have a skill set analyzer. Stay tuned to the end. I'm going to give you a link to over 1,000 ideas that you could do to get started. Right? If you read my Millionaire Maker book, inside there I talk about a woman who was an administrative assistant. She hated it. So we talked through her skills and I said, so what did you like in your jobs of your lifetime? What did you love? She said, I loved working for this vet, specifically caring for dogs. Well, fast forward, she went through neighborhoods that had a lot of dogs and she offered her dog walking services. And I told her, if you're going to go into a neighborhood, don't just walk one dog, get all the dogs, take them all on a walk and make way more money, right? And I said, and follow along, I bet they want errands run. So add actually errand services. So while you're taking their dogs out to the park, why don't you pick up their dry cleaning, maybe some groceries? So over time, she became a house manager and became a millionaire. You can do this too, all of you. So what's right here that you could get started with today? Quick. We're not talking about the big passion business and do what you love and the money will come. That is BS, by the way. If you can do what you love, if you love sitting on the couch eating bonbons, you're not making any money. So do what you love and the money will come is not really how it works. Build it and they'll come. That's even worse. So I'm not talking about what not to do. Just what do you have right now? Like, let's get started. Do something to make money today. We're going to start growing what we call a revenue muscle. You got to start creating some revenue and strengthening that muscle on how to do it. Now, the number one mistake, and there's many, is that you don't get incorporated. You've got to treat this as a proper company. So any sort of services or activities where you're interacting with another person, you want them to interact with your company, not you as an individual. So we got to get you incorporated, and then we're going to build some corporate credit so you have access to a lot of capital and funding as you grow this company. So a few other mistakes, and I'm going to speak to you women, is you don't hire fast enough. Is you try to do everything yourself. So let's talk about just the divisions and the departments of a company, right? Where you have to go out and market. People need to know about you, and that's getting interest, right? That's marketing. Then you have to sell them something. And then you have to do accounting, which is put money in the bank and actually document your cash flow. And then you have to actually fulfill the thing that you sold. And then you got to do some customer service and other operations and tech, right? There's more, but those are the big ones. The challenge is with most small businesses and new startups is you like to do the thing. You like to do the video. You like to do the photography. You like to do the dog walking. You like to do whatever the thing is, but you forget that the entrepreneurial business needs more help. So hiring is always a huge mistake. Most people wait way too long to hire, and they're trying, I hate that word, but they're trying to do everything, and you're just not good at everything. So find your lane. What are the 1 or 2 things you're really good at? And I always say strengthen your strengths, hire your weaknesses. You got to get that hiring in right away. The other thing I'm going to tell you, like Immediately, you got to put sales at the forefront of your company. Without sales, you don't have any cash flow. And don't get scared of the word selling, right? Because I know it's serving. If you're really good and you're helping somebody, they're going to pay you. When you walk up to a coffee shop, I don't care where you go, you're not nervous about the transaction. So why are you nervous about the transaction if you're walking up to someone's house and you're asking them if you can actually walk their dog, clean their house, do errands in their house? I don't care what you do. There's something that you all can do that's service-based, that's really quick, that's fast cash today, needs to be incorporated. You're going to need to hire a team and get your cash flow management. Got to do that. We're going to link to another video and talk about how you manage cash flow, which is how do you make it? It's also how you spend it. So before I get to my next point, if you're liking this, hit the like button, right? Love to know your feedback on this. The next part of this is so critical. So I'm going to give you a few stories. I'm going to give you a story about a guy who's now a multimillionaire. He's in his 30s and he's in real estate. And the way he came to me, because he didn't know and he wasn't incorporated. So I'm just going to put a big exclamation point on that first mistake of not being incorporated. And honestly, I shouldn't say he had the wrong team, he had a different team. So here's Justin's story. So Justin was a big employee at a company, met this older gentleman who had a lot of capital and invited him to do some real estate transactions with him. So he would do all the work and the guy would do all the money. Well, over time, they became really good friends and then they wanted to start a construction business and a flooring company. And so here they are, this older guy and Justin, and they were 50-50 partners. And Justin didn't know anything about corporate structure or trust or how it really works legally. He just trusted this guy because they've been doing this for several years together. Well, one day, the guy never showed up, and another day, never showed up. Well, he passed away. So where did that leave Justin? He was 50-50 for years with this gentleman. They had millions of dollars of assets, and guess who now took it? Because there was no entity and no trust. The state of Kansas. So the state of Kansas took everything he had straight into a probate court. So I don't want to freak you out, but I'm serious about this channel. We're going to teach you the real how-tos, and these mistakes are serious. So Justin came to me and said, my entire world is living in a probate court. Can you help me? And I said, absolutely. So how did this happen? He told me how it happened. And I said, Justin, here's your lesson. Do paperwork or be poor. He said, well, I didn't know how to do that paperwork. And I said, well, that's what we're going to help you with. So we went back to the state, actually had to raise capital to buy everything back. But his flooring company back. I taught him how to raise capital to buy his construction company back. Taught him how to raise even more capital, buy his real estate back. So that took a while to buy his entire life back. Now he had it, and now he did paperwork. He got the right corporate structure, the right trust structure, hired the right team to now keep all that in place. So don't let that scare you. It's not as big and audacious as it sounds. It's just critical. And so many beginning entrepreneurs that are startups, you start with no capital and you all of a sudden surge into some greatness. Do not. These mistakes could cost you everything that you just worked for. So don't do it without a company. Don't do it without a team. And honestly, part of your team is a mentor. You got to have a mentor in your life to guide you through these challenges. And I'm going to say an ending this way. Have a lot of fun. Making money can be easy and simple and fun. And I'm going to teach you and continue through this channel to teach you how to do that. So I have an amazing gift for you, and it's going to really help you with these startup ideas. I want you to take a quiz to see where you are. And I have this saying, it's called, I want to meet you where you are. I'm going to take you where you want to go. So take my quiz so I know where you're beginning, and then let's walk a path to becoming a millionaire. So click the link below and let's begin.